Given question: a system of four forces acting at a point on a body is shown in diagram. Determine the resultant.
Let us find out the angle of theta1 which is made by 200 Newton with the x-axis. So how to find out? So from diagram, if we observe, this is the same slope and this horizontal x-axis and this is the horizontal line. So for this triangle also we can say that here is the angle theta1. Now from this triangle, tan of theta1 is equal to this opposite side by nearby side. So tan theta1 is equal to 1 by 2. Therefore theta1 is equal to 26.565 degree. Now in the same way we will find out the angle made by 120 Newton force with the horizontal x-axis. So this angle will be theta2. Now this is the same slope. Now that is the same inclined line, and if we observe this x-axis and this horizontal line are parallel to each other. So here is also angle theta2. Now from this triangle we can say that tan of theta2 is equal to 4 by 3 and therefore theta2 is equal to 53.13 degree. We have to find out the resultant of all these four forces. So we will first resolve all the forces into horizontal component as well as vertical component. So how to resolve this? So for this 200 Newton force, I will show here horizontal component. Now what is its value? So its value is 200 cos of theta1. Now why here cos? Because this component is nearby to angle theta1. So I will write here 200 cos of theta1. Now I will show here vertical component. Now what is its value? So it is away from theta1. So it's a 200 sine of theta1. Now we will move next. Now for this 120 Newton force. So I will show here horizontal component. Now this horizontal component is nearby to angle theta2. So 120 cos of theta2. And for the vertical component, so these components overlap on each other. So here its value is 120. Now it is away from angle theta2. So 120 sine of theta2. Now we will move next. So this 50 Newton force. Now this 50 Newton force again we will resolve into two components. So one component along x-axis, that is we will show here. And what is its value? So along x-axis it is 50 cos of 60 degree because this component is nearby or attached to the angle 60 degree. So 50 cos of 60. Now vertical component. So for the vertical component it is away from the angle 60 degree. So 50 sine of 60. So I will show here 50 sine of 60 degree. Now last force is 100 Newton. Now if we observe here, this angle is in between vertical line and this force. Now I will show horizontal component. So this is most important point. So horizontal component is always along x-axis. Now what is its value? So if we observe, it is for this horizontal component is away from this angle because this angle is in between vertical component and the force. So its value is 100 sine of 40. 100 sine of 40. 100 sine of 40. And for the vertical component, so here is the vertical component and how to show 100 cos of 40. 100 cos of 40. Now we have to add all the horizontal components. So horizontal components for all these forces lie along the x-axis and vertical component lie along the y-axis. So first we have to show here summation of fx. So summation of fx is 200 cos of, now theta1 angle is known, we have to put the value. So its direction is towards the right hand side. So for right hand side direction we have assumed positive sign. So plus 200 cos of 26.565. Now for 120 it is towards the left hand side, that is in the opposite direction. So we have to give minus sign, minus 120 cos of theta 2, that is 53.13. Then for 50, so for 50 if we observe the horizontal component, that is 50 cos 60, it is in the opposite direction. So minus 50 cos 60, and for 100 it is towards the right hand side direction. So plus n, so plus sine of 40 degree. So if we solve this, then we will get the answer 146.2 Newton. Now in the same way, summation of Fy. So again for upward direction we will consider positive sign, and opposite direction, that is downward direction, negative sign. 200 sine of 26.56 degree plus 120 sine of 53.13 degree minus 50 sine of 60 degree minus 100 cos of 40 degree. Now when we solve this, we will get 65.5 Newton. Now this is the summation of Fx and summation of Fy. So how to find out resultant? Resultant is equal to under root of summation of Fx square plus summation of Fy square, which is equal to under root of 146.2 square plus 65.5 square. So which is equal to 160.2 Newton. So this is the magnitude of the resultant R. We have to find out the angle made by the resultant R. So how to find out? So if we observe summation of Fx, it is the horizontal component of the resultant R, and its magnitude is 146.2 Newton. And summation of Fy, it is the vertical component of the resultant R, and its magnitude is 65.5 Newton. So first we will draw one horizontal line, which is nothing but the horizontal component of resultant R, 146.2 Newton, and vertical line, that is nothing but the vertical component of 65.5 Newton. So how to find out the resultant? So for that we will draw here with the parallelogram law, we will find out the resultant R. So I will draw here one vertical line from the end point of the horizontal component, and horizontal line from the end point of the vertical component. Now here is the point of intersection. So I will show here, this is the resultant R. Now we have to find out the angle. So I will consider, here is the angle alpha made by resultant R with the horizontal component. Now how to find out? So if we observe, this vertical line is parallel to this, which is equal in magnitude. So its value is also equal to 65.5. So tan of alpha is equal to 65.5 divided by 146.2, and therefore alpha is equal to 24.1 degree.